This is part 3 of topic 2, the introduction thereof, and we are dealing with the rules of differentiation, the chain rule. So I'm continuing off from where we ended. This is the next example. Now here you are given y is a function of x and it is equal to 36, and in brackets you have 3x plus 8 to raise to the power of 4. So we have an inner and an outer function, and here we have our inner function. So in order to solve for this using the chain rule states that you need to differentiate the outer function and multiply that by the derivative of the inner function. So if you have dy by dx, it would be equal to dy by du multiplied by du by dx. So I'm going to let this inner part equal to u. So I'll let u equal to 3x plus 8. Thus, it can be written as y is equal to 36, and we've let this equal u raised to the power of 4. Thus, we have dy by du, and that is going to be equal to 4 times 36 is 134, and u is raised to the power of 4, so hence this becomes 4 minus 1, so that is u to the power of 3. So dy by du, that is our outer function, is 144 u to the power of 3. And now du by dx, which represents the inner function, du by dx is simply going to be equal to 3, because if we differentiate this, we get 3, and this constant differentiates to 0. Thus, following from the chain rule, we've now differentiated the outer and the inner function. So now we can multiply the outer function by the derivative of the inner function. Thus, f dash of x, we now have 144u to the power of 3 multiplied by 3. Thus, we get 432, and u is given by 3x plus 8, which we substitute back into the raised to the power of 3. And that is your chain rule. So now there is one more example. I apologize for the typo. So there's one more example where you need to find the first order derivative using the chain rule. Please attempt it again on your own, and we can work through the answers in Canva. So to-do list, you had a number of examples that dealt with the various rules of differentiation that you need to attempt on your own. And then lastly, there are further homework exercises. The only difference with these functions now are, instead of you having y and x, you now have variables that make sense in terms of economics, such as your total revenue function, which would be a function of quantity, or your total product would be a function of labor, etc. So please work through, attempt these additional exercises. And like I said, the only difference is that these are now replaced with economic variables. So in the first two, you would apply your product rule. In the next two, you would apply your quotient rule. And the final two, you would apply your chain rule. I have purchased a media pad, so what would make it easy in terms of working through the problems is I record my screen as I in fact write. So that will be my new way of working through calculations going forward from next week. And I hope that will help your understanding.